Against my better judgment, I will trust your judgment. So here we go, Nicole Lucas. You didn't think I would hit that button, did you? Welcome to the Sales Podcast, my friend. How the heck are you?
I am doing amazing.
Hey, against your better judgment, you asked to be on this show, so you better bring it, okay?
Yeah.
But for those of you wondering, we're talking about headsets, and I've people have said my Blue Yeti mic has been coming in low, so now I'm on my AirPods. So if the quality is not good for the content, well, that's Nicole's fault. But if the quality of the sound is not good, then that's also Nicole's fault. But it's on the AirPods. We're going to blame Apple. Can we blame Steve Jobs, even though he's gone to the other side? Rest in peace. Can we blame him? You know me, I'm all about passing the buck.
You definitely are. Must be a military thing.
Yeah. Nicole, you forget that we live locally. I know where you live. You better watch your mouth.
Right. It's all right. Let's go.
So for those of you wondering, Nicole, we won't mention names, but I've got an insurance agent. I've known for years. I like her. We're friends. And Nicole was working for her. Where you were a licensed agent, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before that. But it was residential. It was individuals, right? And you made the switch to commercial. You made the switch to commercial and you were nervous about it. Is that fair to say?
Oh, that is absolutely fair.
And so how long you've been in insurance, like 20 years?
23.
23 years. So you always worked for somebody else until what, last 2-3 years?
February will be 3 years.
February will be 3 years. And you were nervous about it. So for 20 years, you worked for someone else, right? And then how long had you wanted to go on your own before you did?
I honestly had never even thought about it.
Until
I had
when?
somebody approach me via LinkedIn while I was out on medical leave from having a surgery.
Okay.
Still employed with the same company I had been employed with for 20 years.
Okay.
And literally, I was like, wow, this sounds too good to be true. And I decided to roll the dice. And it's everything and more.
But was that Dennis?
Yeah. So Dennis had a headhunter that I guess they had hired out of the LA office to find people that had been in the insurance industry. Doesn't matter if you were captive or broker. And basically pull us, bring us in, give us an offer you couldn't resist.
Do you need a different license to do commercial? Okay. They were not worried that you didn't have commercial experience?
So with my last company, we did very small commercial, like mom and pop, retail, a little bit of workers' compensation, like very small,
Okay. But so you weren't starting from scratch. Okay. So did you feel you knew enough in commercial to make the leap? No,
and I told them, I was very honest with them. I'm like, listen, there is going to be a huge learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to have to invest in me.
Okay.
And I think honestly, that honesty, some people love it, but most people respond very positive to that. And they were like, oh, yeah. But the difference is you're willing to put the work in. Yeah.
And so were you brought on as an employee or?
I was at first.
Okay. So that made it easier for the transition for you, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you had to be prudent, right? I mean, you got family, making a move is always risky. Even if where you are is bad, it's an unknown. So there's some amount of risk. And you're on your own. Are you still with them?
Yeah, I'm still with them as a brokerage company. I run my own book of business now. I have their support. We've got a team under me that helps me with all the back office stuff. And there was
Are you still considered an employee, or did you change the relationship?
So I will still be considered an employee. All of us, even independent contractors, like all of us we still fall under employees. kind of like very similar to like a realtor. So we have a brokerage that backs us up.
Yes, but like from a salary perspective, did that go down and commissions go up? Like, how did you structure that? Did it change at
So
all?
we've got it worked out with the company on a number. That's a loaded question because the president of the company and I have a deal because I still do a lot of their trainings, a lot of the events, go to a lot
Okay.
of events, travel to different states. So I'm kind of in this hybrid position. I'm still an employee. I'm still receiving benefits. I'm still have a W-2 that I'm receiving. And then depending on what levels we hit, there's bonus payout, there's commission structure, all that other stuff kind of behind the scenes. So it's a little bit of a hybrid pay structure for myself.
Okay. But that role that they have you in, that hybrid role, it's because you were going out on your own, hitting events and knocking it out of the park, right? And
Yeah.
somebody noticed.
Oh yeah, the president actually took me to a golf tournament, and I guess I didn't see this personally myself, but he had other business owners and people that had no idea who I was approach him and like, who is that? Like, she's with you? So anyways, this conversation via
Is
this,
that because you had like barbecue sauce on your shirt and stuff?
no, that's because I don't shut
You
my
were
mouth.
over there. You were over there hitting the beer funnel.
No, I'm passing out cigars, I'm getting in good.
Oh, you were passed out. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd want
right.
to know who that is too.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
Go duct tape over the company logo. I have no idea. She just stumbled in. We don't know her. We're
We have
security.
no idea who she is. But, we just have fun with it. Like, I make people talk to me, even the ones that are all into their golf and they don't want to
Yeah.
talk. No,
Yeah.
you're going to talk to me.
Hell yes.
I don't care what it's about either. We don't have to talk about insurance, business, sales. We can talk about anything,
Right.
but you're going to talk to me.
Sure.
Like, I'm not wasting my time being on a golf course.
Were you doing anything unique or crazy, like giveaways or anything, or were you
Yeah.
just chatting people up?
We were doing it all. So thankfully, I'm been in your group for like 7 years now? Been a minute. And my good old friend Wes taught me what to do at a golf event. So we were taking names, we were taking numbers, we were doing raffles, we were giving away all the, fun swag, like swag that people actually want to keep. Cause that's another thing. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
giving people stuff that they're throwing away. I'm giving them
Right.
leather engraved koozies that are custom made.
Well, it helps because your husband makes those, right?
Oh, actually, I buy them from another lady that's local here in Temecula,
Okay. What your
Mississippi.
husband makes? What is he woodworking or
Yeah,
leather
he
or
does. Yeah, he does woodworking. But
woodworking? Okay.
we're
I know he makes something. Are you
we're
still doing
handing
those
out.
sometimes?
Yeah, we give out some of his stuff. We're handing out like custom made, nice things, not junk.
So, okay, but people listen to this, they say, "Oh, I don't have the budget. That's too much." I mean,
Yeah.
like, how much? How much are those items?
So like the leather koozies, I want to say more like $3 each.
Okay.
But here's
Yeah.
the
So I
thing:
mean,
you're
you
either
have
gonna
100 to 150 golfer. I mean, a max tournament is 144. Sometimes they'll squeeze in a few more. So 100 to 150, let's say. So 300 to $500 roughly for swag.
And you want to know the craziest thing about that swag is I still have people that aren't even my clients, but have met me. Oh, by the way, and I make sure they put me in their phone.
Nice.
So they're still sending me pictures of these koozies 3 years later.
And so, what do you put your company logo? Do you just put
Yeah.
your name? What do you put on them?
So I put some kind of fun saying on the front, and then we'll have like the company info, usually towards the bottom or on the back of it. But the company info is like this big.
Yeah.
Whereas the fun saying, whatever it is, like party or
Right.
something fun that they want to reuse.
Yeah.
I'm not giving them just my company logo. They're not going to want to use that.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. But
And they keep
you
it.
make it. Do you make it unique for that event, or is this generic? You just can keep reordering them.
Honestly, we'll look online and see what popular golf sayings or, what's drawing people in. You can see
Yeah, but I mean, like, if it's for, it's for the Acme Inc. golf tournament,
No,
Denver,
no, no,
Colorado, June 1st.
nope,
You're not
nope,
customizing it like that.
no. And I'm not putting a date on it.
Yeah, okay. So you can mass order. So even though you may only need 100, I mean, you order 500 to save money, and you can
Yeah,
use
get a
them for
cut.
multiple tournaments, and maybe switch it up every now and then.
And we
Okay.
switch it up. We don't just do that. We've done golf towels. We've done, all types of things.
Yeah. Well, if you do a tournament each year, I mean, each unique tournament, you could probably do the same thing. But when you go back the next year, you probably need something different. Although, if it's just one, I mean, I may want a second or a third, you know, for something like a leather koozie. You could probably do that over and over again.
We did these little circle like lip balms that had SPF in them, and a lot of the guys were like, "Oh my gosh, my wife would love this." I'm
Oh,
like,
I get them for
"Yes,
Shannon all the time.
send that to your wife. Give my contact info to your wife. I'm going to talk to the wife."
Well, and especially in the SMB space, the spouses are probably 80% of the time involved in the business.
Absolutely. And
So,
from my perspective, after working with business owners, big, small, and ginormous, the wife is usually the one with the upper hand.
I forget the metric, but I think it's like wives make like 87% of the buying decision for the home. And if they're in the business, they're involved as well, of course. So funny story. So there's Jason here in town with promotional items. I've known him for years and years and years. And he gives out this lip stuff with his logo, and Shannon loves it. So even to this day, like, I don't do all the chamber stuff anymore. But when Shannon runs out, it was maybe 6 months ago, we drove to his house. She bakes cookies and we trade. She hands him a bag of cookies and he hands us a bag of lip balm. So that stuff works. And for guys, I'll go out and like, I like smoking a cigar. I'll smoke 3 or 4 cigars on a golf and around the golf. And I only play a few times a year. So it's like pretty much the only time I ever smoke a cigar.
Let me tell
And
you,
having lit
you take 5 boxes of cigars to a golf course, anybody will talk to you.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, that's the only. But I'll use the lip balm because you're smoking cigars and your lips get dry. So it's like I always have chapstick of some sort in my golf bag. So that's a great gift. Cigars. The problem with cigars, though, is, I mean, they're not going to keep, you know, and so you want your logo. Like you talk about that. Like, people, they'll have my coin. I get pictures like that a couple of times a year. Somebody will text me or hit me on Facebook, and I got your coin, just out of the blue. I'm like, you better keep that thing, so that's cool. Um, but I mean, that's just one thing. Golf tournament. It's cool. It's fun. I'm glad it works. But I mean, what did you do from day one? Like, you make the switch, and you're like, oh my gosh. I mean, you
Oof.
went from an office to working from home, right?
Yeah. Well, I have an office in LA, but I'm not driving there every day.
Yeah.
And so, honestly,
Forget that.
the broker world is so different when it comes to sales versus working for like a captive insurance company. So I
Okay.
had to relearn, and I wouldn't even say relearn, because a lot of it's the same lingo, same terminology. You just have to learn it in a different space.
Well, so before you get into that, what is the difference, you say, as a broker? So before, is it, you're called a captive agent?
Captive
Is
agent
that, so you only sell that
for one
brand. So
company.
like you work at Ford and you only sell new Fords, versus maybe a broker would be a used car salesman, and you're selling whatever comes in. It may be a Chevy, maybe a Ford, but so you're a broker, so you can shop around, sell 10 or 20 or 100 different coverage, right? Different companies.
Well, and a lot of people, what they don't understand is when they work with a broker, depending on how long the broker has had this relationship, let's just pick one company. Let's say X company has a relationship with you. You've been sending business their way a few years now. You now have built this relationship with their underwriters and their team. Now they start giving you what's called broker credits, which helps your clients, because now I've got some companies I can give broker credits up to 50% off a policy to that client.
Right.
And that's not just like a one-time thing. That's like a consistent, like if I feel like there's a need or I want to try and win business or whatever the case might be, it could be a client that's already with me and we have multiple businesses because that is a very frequent thing. I mean, you don't have that option when you're working with one company. There is no, hey, let's cut some price to win the client's business.
Gotcha. But I mean, discounting is a double-edged sword, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and I mean, it hurts your own earnings, right? You're
Mhm.
paid on commission.
Yeah.
And so, and if it is what it is, right? Because like on the commercial side, like out here in California, whatever, fire coverage, 50% of the companies pull out, the other 50% hike prices 200%. And like, sorry, bro. I mean, you want to stay in business, you have to have this insurance. And so how do you choose who to give a credit to?
That's the hard part. And it's so usually for me, I'll only use it for special circumstances. Let's just say, okay, we are in California. We do have limited options. Price increases are I've seen up to 600%.
Yeah.
And so in those situations, if that's a current client of mine, I'm going to give them this discount because I know that it's already going to be an increase from where they were.
But is it good like for a year? Is it good
Yeah,
forever?
it's good for the lifetime of the policy.
Oh my gosh.
And so,
They better
look,
put you on their Christmas list.
and I've had a couple that have been like, okay, this is the quotes I'm getting. This is what I'm up against. What can we do about this? And I'll start asking and going through a number of questions with them. And they're not being educated. They're not being educated on anything
No.
that's available in options. I don't think business owners are seeing the fact that there are options. If they've been in business and they've had the same company for, let's say, 3-4 years, they've got good claim history.
Right.
There's options, and that price is negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only do brokers get credits, but carriers offer credits for longevity.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't educated on that piece.
Yeah.
I'm usually using that discount if it's a current client and I already know they're taking a heck of a price increase.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like our internet coverage, right? They Most people, once you have your internet on and you got your cable, it's like it's adequate. So you're just like bumping along. And so like I'm HOA president, right? We just did a renovation of the clubhouse. And so next March will be 3 years. And as soon as we got in, the new board took over. We looked at everything, and we had, I don't know, we were paying like 120, $140 a month for internet at the clubhouse, but it included television. And I'm like, we're not watching TV at the clubhouse. So we cut that, saved a little bit of money. Okay, fine. Now we're renovating the clubhouse, and we lost the router. Somebody lost the router, because we tried to keep it on as long as we could because it provides coverage to the pool area. But eventually they had to disconnect everything because, we're moving stuff around, redid the attic, and it's probably stuck in storage, but the guy needed it because we got new TVs, we got this mesh network, like it's bougie. And so we call Frontier. They're like, yeah, boom. We went from a 75 to a 500 meg upload download. Now, do we really need that? I don't know. Not at the clubhouse necessarily, but with the new TVs and the new mesh network, maybe we do. But they gave us a new router, whatever, 7x the speeds, and cut our price like $20 a month, just because we lost the old router. So, but in the big scheme of things, we got 521 homes, $300,000 operating income. Saving $20 a month is not high up on my priority, and that's how businesses are. Now, if their policies are going up 200, 300, 600%, it's worth a review. But, can they, if they stick with you like over 3 years, could they just renew or renegotiate? Or I know
Oh,
like
yeah.
life insurance gets cheaper, even you get older, but the coverage gets better. So should they do that in business?
Yep, same thing. So we can renegotiate, we can shop the market, we can shop other markets. That's the nice thing about being a broker. You don't have to keep it with the same company. You can shop others. But I want to stop real quick and talk about HOAs because that's a space.
Don't besmirch my beloved HOA. I will find it.
Nothing to say about your HOA. HOAs in general, their boards, first off, the fact that I don't know, people can get on a board and they have no history of business. They have no history of, they could be a stay-at-home mom for all they care.
Yeah, I know. Nobody wants it. I didn't want it.
Oh my Lord. Well, let me tell you, when it comes to insurance, these boards need to have business-minded people.
Well, yeah.
They really do. When it comes to money, decisions, insurance,
nobody wants the job. I didn't want the job. The previous board just locked us down during COVID, shut the pool down because they were all older. There was no sweat off their nose, right? If you can pass a law that doesn't affect you and it protects you, right? Because that was the quote safe thing to do. Our attorneys advise, go ahead and shut the pool down. They don't have kids at home. Some have their own pools. They didn't use the pool. Hey, lock it down. Hello. So I ran. And, once you figure it out, I mean, it was hard for 6 months, but, now we got to figure it out. The whole board, we've stayed in place for 3 years now. And now nobody's running against us. We'll get a 4th year in. And we've got a system down now. And we have some sharp people.
So now it's time to educate. So that's another thing that I'd love to do. Come in, especially boards and HOAs, and educate them. Educate them on multifamily insurance coverage.
What does that mean? Why does an HOA need multifamily?
Oh my Lord. So I guess it all depends on the type of HOA. Like if you're a condo association, you've got somebody dealing with multifamily. You don't want to bring in just your average Joe vendor.
Yeah, because everything's attached. So the policies are different. I got you.
Well, and not only that, but let's say I bring in a construction crew. If they don't understand or they don't have the proper insurance coverage for multifamily and they're working on an apartment or a condo building, we got a problem.
Right.
So not only that, but also talking like people aren't having the conversation with their homeowners about the loss assessment coverage on your home insurance policies. Like loss assessment is a choice on how much you carry. So let's say your HOA has to assess for whatever X, Y, and Z reason. Mm-hmm. They have a choice of including it, declining it, increasing it. Most policies are going to come with like a flat amount. We have to talk to these homeowners about increasing this coverage for the protection of the HOA as well.
I gotcha.
So, and then of course, insurance in California when it comes to HOAs just in general is.
All right. We can get in the weeds, but look, our listeners are not HOA members. Or board people. How did you grow? Right? So you're on your own. It's new for you, right? I mean, mostly new. You're in commercial, get some experience, but not a lot. What did you do? What did you do the first year? Did you hire somebody? Did you just grind it out on your own?
Nope. I hired 2 people. Couldn't afford them. Hired them anyway. I had no idea what I could afford at that point. We were just running.
Right.
We had people doing cold calls. We had.
So did you hire full time? Were they part time?
Part time.
Okay.
Had a virtual assistant.
Were they local?
Nope.
Were they overseas?
One was local. One, well, I guess you can say both local. One in San Diego area.
Okay.
One here local near me. And we did network events. We sponsored events. We went to events. We showed up.
And they were just hourly people. Did you have any kind of bonuses based on production?
We didn't do any bonuses. It was just hourly pay. And we connected with, created referral networking, referral partners.
Did you know these people from before, or was it?
Yes and no. So some of them, yes, some of them, no. I got involved in B&I for a little bit. Went got invited to a couple different groups, met people through that. Like, pretty much you name it, we did it. We just jumped in, made sure our face was being seen. We did not do chamber stuff. So keep in mind, we are not going to the chamber where there's people already have these relationships locked in.
Right.
We are thinking outside the box. We're going to different, groups. We're going to San Diego. We spend a lot of time all over the state of California. We're up even in Northern California doing events.
So these two people, what was their title? Were they salespeople? Were they business developments?
So
were they doing
one
the
was,
same thing, like one up here, one in San Diego?
yep. So one was business development. She did a lot of like the back end work, like the CRM stuff. And then one was literally like my marketer, cold calling, emailing, creating social media pieces, all the things.
So the one was not going out.
No,
She was there to run the database, keep it clean. Okay. Why did you need that person?
because
That
it had
seems
a lot of,
actually early on. That seems like an interesting hire.
well, honestly, it was one of those things where I wanted the role of bringing the business in. I
Yep.
didn't want the back end role taking up my time at first.
Yep.
So for me, it was more like a backwards thinking. Probably not the first person I should be hiring, but for me, I want to be out there, out there, out there. I don't want to be sitting in front of a computer logging people's info, no. So at first she didn't work a lot of hours, and then eventually we were, she was up to, I'm going to say probably at least 30 hours a week, if not more.
Oh my God. Was she taking calls, or so you were doing like the intake or whatever? Or if you're business development, if she got names, she'd kick them over to her, and she would enter them, and then the drip system kicks in.
Yeah, well, and it helped that she had been in the insurance industry as well. Her dad owned an agency, so she had connections herself. So it was kind of, even though she was handling the CRM, she was also bringing in stuff as well.
Yep.
So as far as bringing her on, it was more or less, basically like multi-step on what we're using her for, what we're having her help us with, what she's connected to already.
Are they both still with you?
One is.
Which one?
The one that's my marketer.
Okay.
So the CRM, now that we're not like grinding and trying to kill ourselves, it's very manageable.
Okay. So did y'all both agree just to part ways, or how'd that happen?
Yeah. We literally just didn't have the amount of work.
Yeah. So if you started brand new today, say Dennis calls you, the recruiter calls you, and you started, if you had to start fresh January 1st, knowing what you know now, what would you do different?
I would probably focus more, for my industry, I would focus more on connecting with property managers, connecting more with commercial bankers, and come in from the educational piece. I'm noticing, especially
educational versus what? Just networking and
versus just I want to partner with you and let's work together on client, accounts. Okay. The reason being is because the trust and respect that you build through educating a team of bankers. For example, let's just use cyber insurance. That's a type of insurance that I educate people on quite a bit lately. When there's fraud in banking, cyber insurance is something they're trying to educate their clients on, but if they don't know it themselves. So anyways, just the trust and the respect that you build from that.
Yep.
That is why.
Well, that's the old adage. You always say, help your customers help their customers, right? Help them look good to their people, and they're going to be beholden to you, right? So, because most people, a typical prospect doesn't necessarily want to be educated, I think, or they don't know they need to be educated. They all, the Dunning-Kruger effect. They always think they know more than they do. Because I tell people all the time, if a prospect truly understood their exposure and their risk, they'd be calling you, right? And so they usually don't call. Oh my gosh, I got a flood, I've got a fire, I've got this, I've got that. I just found this gap. Oh my gosh, now I'm fighting. This isn't covered. I'm exposed. I got to sue them. Oh my gosh, I hate them. Can you help me? Yeah, I can help you moving forward, but yeah, you're screwed, looking backwards. So, and they don't trust salespeople. You're not trying to educate me. You're just trying to sell me. Like, oh, I'm kind of trying to sell you, but by showing you how this is so much better. You know, so how do you gain their trust? How do you get them to slow down and listen and trust you that you really are there for their benefit?
Well, first you're going to meet them on a golf course.
All right. Are
Because,
you taking them golfing or just
yeah,
sponsoring tournaments?
you're taking them golfing, you're inviting them to tournaments and paying, expensing their ticket, and you're letting them get to know you as a person before you even go. And I get it doesn't work like that for everybody. Some people are not in this stage. If I were just starting out, that is not the way I'd be doing it. But now I'm a whole lot more choosier about my clients.
Hey, choosy moms choose you.
Yeah. Go for no. That's my thing. And it's one of those things too, is when you get moving, at first I would take everything, all small business. I mean, it can make me $10 and I'd take it.
Everybody does it. Every
Now,
business.
oh no, I am not a good fit for that.
Hi, this is Nicole's assistant. Please fax over your bank statements, your net worth. What kind of watch you wear, car you drive, and where's the last place you took your wife to eat? If it's Chick-fil-A, please hang up.
Do you want to know something? And this is
I
going to
do.
sound crazy, but there's a client. Well, he's not a client, but I want him to be a client. He runs a local solar business here. And I gave him advice on changing his clothes to go out to dinner with his wife. And you better believe he let me know, by the way, your advice, I used it and it turned out really positive. And I'm like, see?
Every time I go out, last night my wife and I went to Ava had a little school play, right? It was a big school play. They rented out this whole church. They limited tickets. I mean, because they could only seat like 300 and something people. And every time, especially last night, but every time I go out, and maybe it's a California thing, but I think it's a cultural thing in our country right now, where guys, they try to show how rich and powerful they are by dressing down, right? The wives are in nice dresses, hair and makeup and nails, and guys are in jeans and a ratty t-shirt and a guy walks in with a ball cap. I'm like, what are you doing, man? It's just, so it's universal, at least certainly here in Southern California. Look around. You ever noticed that? Or you have?
Noticed it. And that's exactly why I said something to this business
Yeah, like,
owner.
dude, step up your game.
I'm like, you're taking your wife on a date with your business polo that you wore at work all day?
Yeah.
And so anyways, and I'm very forward. Like, I'm just say it as it is.
Like, thank you very much. I appreciate the info, but not the delivery. I'm changing policy. I just saved your marriage. Yeah, but you made me look. No. Okay, maybe I'll stay with you.
Dude, man, I'm telling you. Sales can come in all ways. I'm
That's
telling you,
true.
people will remember you for the craziest things.
Oh, totally. You got to stand out. I mean, because I always say, right? If you talk like your prospects, act like your prospects, the only way they can differentiate you is on price. So you better stand out. So how do you educate prospects? Like, let's say, the new year's coming up. Boom, you're starting from scratch. Are you buying lists? Like, how do you know who to target, and then how do you reach them?
So honestly, I think like who you're targeting in your vertical is going to differ from broker to broker. Somebody like me, I do a lot of property. We do a lot of apartments, a lot of HOA, condos. So we target commercial brokers, we target banks, we target, HOA,
Are you
property man,
calling them? Are you doing
calling,
direct
showing
mail?
up, going to events. I became part of associations. You get educated in those associations and certified in those associations. You start to meet people through those
Yep.
classes.
Yep.
Even just showing up. Some of these commercial bankers, literally, they just want something they can hand to their client on cyber insurance. So I created a couple things on Canva and obviously have my info on it as well, but educational pieces they can hand to their clients.
Yeah.
Um,
Smart.
we sponsor their events. We show up to support them if they do webinars, basically.
Will you put your logo on that educational piece,
Yeah,
or like the banker's logo, or
mine.
both? Okay.
No, it's all mine.
Okay. Nice.
There are a couple of companies I've worked for. I shouldn't say worked with. There's a PEO called BBSI that we have done some dual marketing together.
And what does that acronym stand for?
So PEO is a professional employment organization. So basically think of like the Walmart for your business. There are certain businesses that it is absolutely amazing for, and there are certain businesses that you would be priced out, like it is not a good choice financially.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times in my world, if I have a client that has, let's say, poor claims history, we'll take them there.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get them better pricing.
All right. So let's say you're reaching out to this bank. Say you identify a bank, and are you trying to land the bank as a client, or are you really just trying to partner with them?
Yeah, you want to partner.
Okay. So you identify 10 banks. What are you doing? What's the cadence? Is it call, email, LinkedIn, drop by? Do you mail anything? Like how do you get their attention?
So all of it. We go from all the different angles. So we're showing up, we're attending events that we know they're going to be at. We're taking them golfing, we're going to coffee, we're showing up, we're emailing, we're marketing, we're calling.
Because I like you, okay, I won't do this for everyone, but I will be your golf networking salesperson.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
You need to stay home. You got to stay home and do the heavy lifting. I'll give me some cigars. Okay. I'll take him golfing.
So we've got, what do we have? 3 this year already planned: Utah, Colorado, and Arizona.
I ain't doing all that. I just want to take him golfing like right here, just one-on-one.
Come on.
Come on.
I want you to come out to these bigger ones because that's where a lot of our commercial printers are.
All right.
And now we're talking Kodak, Canon, Fujifilm.
Listen,
those are the people that are sponsoring these events.
I'm a big guy. All right. I'm a grandpa. I got all these health issues. I got to fly first class. All right. So I have
you to Arizona.
I have some requirements. All right. Arizona, maybe. I just made that drive. All right.
Are you doing a golf tournament this year?
Am I doing one?
For the church, Knights of Columbus.
Oh, yeah, we do that every June.
I have one in Utah in June, in case you need a getaway.
All right. What are you saying? You're saying my wife is nagging me and I have to get away from my ratty
I love your
kids
wife.
that don't
Bring
listen?
your wife. I would love to do a booth with your wife.
She'll bake cookies. She chats everyone up. She's so much better than me. Exactly. I'm getting old. I'm like, stop talking to me. Just buy my stuff. Shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Oh,
let me have your wife do a golf tournament.
How are you? Oh, I love that outfit. Have some cookies. Like, you go buy something. Only thing worse than your attitude is your golf swing. Get on my face. You're gonna chunk it.
I know your
there's
wife.
Water on the right.
I know your wife would come in and be like, y'all, I don't even know what you're paying, but I guarantee you haven't checked it in a few years.
Have you met my friend Nicole? She is the best. She'll have milk. She'll have milk on ice out there. You need milk with you. If you give a golfer a cookie, they're going to want some milk.
I'm not giving no golfer no cookie. Now, we do Jell-O shots and stuff like that. So
if you bring Shannon, well, she likes these limoncello things, so watch out. She'll be drunk by like 10 a.m. Maybe you should bring her.
Idea. I need to approach her about coming out with me a couple times. I'm not kidding. I'm going to text her.
No, you're not. I'm blocking the phone. No.
I am. She would be
the number.
Absolutely amazing.
She would be.
Getting people to talk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll be good and bad. Like it'll be backed up. It'll be a 12-hour tournament. Like we couldn't get by hole 3. Like it was like the best of times, the worst of time. I mean, I've never spent 12 hours on a course, but man, hole 3, Shannon is just the best. We bought insurance like right there on the spot. We don't even know who the company is, but Shannon was very sweet. If we got to spend 12 hours on a golf course, then do it with Shannon.
You just gave me the best idea. I used to take a girlfriend of mine local that she's well known in the community and she's a yapper just like me. Girl, people would look forward to her being there. They would ask for her.
She'll
They would
do
say,
it.
"Hey, Nicole, where's Robin?"
She'll do it. You're welcome.
That is the best idea I think you've ever given me in 7 freaking years.
And I've given you every best idea you've ever had has come from me. So that means this is a really, really good idea.
This is solid.
Crazy.
Let's talk about this 12 weeks to peak, though, that I have scheduled for me and my team to begin on January 1st.
Actually on the 1st?
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
That doesn't mean people are picking up the phone, but we're still calling them.
You're making your people work on the 1st?
Well, just a little bit.
Come on.
We're in sales.
People ain't answering the phone on the 1st.
Well, guess what? That still doesn't mean we can get our stuff together. We're going to have a system in place.
Yes.
Yep.
Amen on that. But yeah, let people have all on the 1st. Trust me.
Trust you.
Yeah, trust me. And if you really, I would say, because look, there's 13 weeks in a quarter. Okay, so there's a little bit of overlap. I would say, so look in the calendar. So Monday the 6th, I would say y'all officially start track, right?
But there's a lot of prep work.
Oh, there's a lot of prep work. To be efficient from the beginning, yes. Prep work in the beginning. Because you've got to figure out, because I do give some leeway, right? Because I'm working on the form, and I don't know how to do it officially, right, without giving people too many excuses. But maybe I'll shift this and list a handful of things and say, here's 10, like pick 5.
Yeah,
because some people won't do cold calls. Like it's not effective for their business, but okay, you can do something else. So give them options for business. And some of your people, like I said, make a video. Some of your people may not want or need to do video. So let's swap it out with something else. So maybe, you can adjust it. But once you have the activities, then they stick with it. The personal things are not optional, right? They need to get up and be moving every day. They need to eat clean. They need to cut out, limit their alcohol, limit their junk food, because it all matters. Like yesterday, I've discovered I'm one of these gluten-free people. It took me a long time to figure it out. And
my husband is too.
I thought it was everything else. I thought it was carbs, blah, blah, blah. It's gluten. And, yesterday I had 2 burritos, with flour tortillas. I just wanted them. And I wake up a little bit congested, so it's like, okay. So, but I know that about myself, right? So, but everything interacts. It'll affect your sleep, how you eat, how you drink. Are you moving your body? You don't sleep well, you don't show up well. You don't show up well, you're not disciplined. You're not as alert. So, I mean, everything is interrelated. So, but yeah, start planning now.
We are.
Give them a little leeway. Because and that's the other thing. I don't know exactly how else to structure this other than it starting on a Monday, or going through the week. So I don't know. If you have ideas on that, let me know.
You know what the craziest part is? Of all the years that I've been doing sales and insurance, now's the time to be getting on the phone cold calling because people aren't.
Depends on the business. So, Steve's in the group and he calls a certain industry. I don't want to name it because our competitors listening, but that industry, they don't get many calls. Okay. But others, the work from home types, people are hard to reach. Certain after COVID, they are a little harder to reach on the phone, but you can still reach them. And I've always taught, even before that, have a sequence, have a series of voicemails a series of corresponding emails that reinforce the voicemail. Do some, multimedia, multi-step. It's always been that case. So, but yeah, depending on who you're calling, like Steve was saying, the people that answer, they're like, yeah, we're not getting any cold calls.
I see that too. I use a program called Zywave, and it's basically like a lead generator.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one. You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Z-Y?
Zywave, Zywave.
Zywave, all right. Oh, it's specific for insurance.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yep. And
insurance solutions, insurance tools, and content. Interesting.
Yep. So I use that for lead generation, and we work off of that.
Okay.
But also, back in the day, maybe, gosh, I feel like maybe year 2 of working with you, you had brought up 3D mailing.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, were you the one that had the squishy brains?
Yeah.
Okay. That stuff, we didn't do squishy brains, but we did some 3D mailing. People love it. They love the 3D mailing. Squishy brains. So we've actually gotten back into doing that more because we had people asking, like, that was so fun.
So what do you send?
Oh my gosh, we had little magnets made.
Yep.
We had, what have we done? We've done, I don't even know what I guess like a mini stress ball.
Yeah.
We did trash cans.
Yep.
And we put a little thing in the trash can.
You crumple up the letter and
Yep.
put it in?
Yep.
Yep.
I think you're the one who gave me that idea. But we've actually had people like saying, I hear you're the lady that does. I'm like, it is the best. So we actually are going back to that. That 3D mailer, I'm telling you, people open it because they think there's something amazing inside.
Okay. I will cut you a deal. I've got bank bags that I'm not using.
What's a bank? What do you mean bank bags? Like
literally, the bank bag, like you make deposits in. I don't know if you had them in school. Like I had them growing up. We got bank bags and put like our pencils and crayons in it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no, old school bank bags, and I've done mailers with bank bags.
But how big are these?
It's a bank bag. I mean, imagine putting stuffing it with $2,000 from your business and bringing it to the bank.
Oh,
so it'll hold.
How many of these do you have?
A couple hundred.
Shut up.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You remember Commerce Bank?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got them from them. Hold on, I got a sample somewhere we can show everybody. Hey, when I use the AirPods, I can keep talking when I walk away. That's better, huh?
We can just look at your military memorabilia on the wall.
That's right. Oh, I got this big. All right, we're going crazy here. I don't know if you bring out the worst in me.
Ooh, say that.
Got fancy hats.
Oh, we've done hats before. People like that too.
Well, they do, but they're expensive.
They are expensive.
You gotta be careful with that. I do big planning sheets.
Wow.
Mail those out.
You mail those to people?
Yeah, mail them, give them out. Trash cans.
Yep. Love the trash cans.
Oh. So what do you send with the letter? Because you got to have a good letter for the squishy brain.
So I've never done the squishy brain, but
whatever you say. Yeah, it's got to be related, right?
Yeah, it relates to whatever the item is.
Yep.
For example, with the trash cans, it's like we had crumpled up money in there, and we had put a little tag on the money and basically said, "Don't throw your money away."
Yep.
So what we type up is about not throwing money away, getting discounts. That's awesome.
Put the sticker right on it. You got to tape up the zipper.
Yes.
But
well, if you're not using those,
yeah,
you gonna let me buy some?
Yeah.
Sweet. The trash cans probably were the best so far, the best response.
Yeah. But if the bank bags, you can use certainly for banks.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the whole, you make more deposits, or, I'm going to save you so much money. You're going to be filling this thing up every month, making more deposits. You're going to thank me for this, whatever. So same thing.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty much what we did with the trash cans. It was fun.
yeah,
We
yeah,
had the
yeah.
best
And the
time.
nice thing with the bank bags, you mail them as is. You don't need to put it in an envelope, but it's all about being different, right? Because we all sort our mail, you run out of time, you don't check your mail for a few days, all this mail, and we sort it, ad, junk, bill, personal, but when something is uneven, if it doesn't stack, we open it. Like, let me just get this out of the way because I can't sort and sift efficiently. And so it just pops out.
We
So that's
even
cool.
took some to our golf tournaments so that people would ask us about, like, well, what's this trash can? Or what's in this trash can? And then, of course, we'd pull out some crumpled up money and then we'd have that conversation. It was like an icebreaker.
Yeah,
It was great.
totally.
So now
Oh,
I'm getting ready to go to this trade show at the end of January in Vegas, and I'm trying to think of something fun, similar. I'm only attending. I'm not hosting a table. So I'm trying to think of something that I can leave behind that's going to be memorable.
I don't know. That it could be expensive. I mean, my advice to people going to trade shows, if you're doing that, you just set yourself some personal goals to meet people. Uh, Everything needs to be quick, 5 to 7 minute chats at most, you know. But if it's a big show, I'd start searching online, like on X and LinkedIn, see if there's hashtags, see if people are commenting on it, start engaging with them. You can build a private list on X, right,
Yeah.
for the trade show, see who's going, and then kind of do some research. Are these people you want to meet? Mention them, reach out. Hey, I see you going to Vegas. I'll buy you coffee. What day are you arriving? I'll buy you coffee. Can meet for a drink, whatever. Buy you a sandwich. Start setting up meetings, ahead of time, and that'll change your life. Because to leave behind, everybody's kind of doing that. They'll have little tables, the bar tables. Everybody's eating their little hors d'oeuvres and stuff at the happy hour on the floor. People are leaving postcards and coupons and whatever else.
So let me throw
I
this at you, because I have started reaching out to some of the franchise owners that are going to be out there. But what I'm finding is they don't know yet who on their team is attending.
Okay.
So in some cases, it's not necessarily the decision maker, but they still want you to meet the team, which is fine. I'm totally okay with that. You would think this far out that we would already have this established, but a lot of these companies are like, yeah, we don't even know until after the first of the year. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, it is what it is. And so find out if they are going. And that's why if somebody, like if you see me on X, like engaging with the show,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm looking forward to the event, see you there, then I know that person is gone. So you engage with them. But then otherwise, if people go to events and they do one of a couple of things. They'll try to sell to the vendors, and it's like, if I've got a booth, I'm trying to meet prospects. It's like when people hit my contact us form on my website and they're a salesperson, they try to get on my calendar. I'm like, screw you, delete, block. Contact us is not for salespeople, so you gotta be careful with that. Now, if you see a person at a booth and they're a good prospect, maybe catch them in line. They're getting coffee or something when they're a step away from the booth. Oh, you're with ABC. Oh my gosh. Okay. Chat them up when they're away from the booth. But otherwise, like, work the room. Everybody's got their big name badges on, but again, you can't be like everybody else. Oh, how are you? How you like the show? Where are you from? How did you come often? Oh my God. It's like, kill me, so you can have some fun. You could have pins, you can have some bank bags, you know, maybe you carry those around and say, can I give you some money? What? I mean, so a friend of mine, he's done this. He gets these like $100 bills or $1 million bills, and they look like real money. He puts his face on them and his logo and info in the back. You can carry around that bank bag,
Passing out money.
like with money, right? It's like, Joe, can I give you some money? What? What are you talking about? Yeah, so you're breaking the ice, and they're like, oh, this is fun. And then you can chat them up real quick. And you want their info. You don't want to be giving out your info, it's all in the follow-up. Oh, insurance, great. This is what I want. Insurance, a root canal, a proctologist. Oh, it reminds me, I'm 54. I need a colonoscopy again. Great. I mean, it's just, they're necessary evils, right? So again, unless like I just suffered some catastrophic loss and got screwed over by my insurance company, it's just not on the top of their mind. So have fun, right? Show that you're not a stick in the mud. Show that you really are there to help. And by opening differently, nobody else is walking around handing out money,
I like that.
and you don't want to give out a bag to everybody. They're expensive. So have one bag with, go print up a few hundred, $1 million bills with your face on it. And
I'm gonna make sure you get one.
And those are fun. I've got it somewhere. I had one. I kept it out for years. Like I really liked it. This guy was giving them out, and one guy, he gave out real $2 bills.
Oh,
those
cool.
are fun. Those are fun. And put his sticker. They can peel the sticker off, but get real $2 bills. And now he had a booth, but they were crisp new $2 bills. And it's like, well, a pen is $1 or $2, okay, and take a $2 bill. So things like that are super affordable. It'll help you stand out.
The craziest thing I saw at a trade show, this is a couple of years back when I first was getting into the broker world. I did a trade show in Los Angeles. And this one company, not mine, hired
Hey, I'm running late. I got to be on the podcast. We've gone over an hour. Can you believe that?
Are you serious? Time
Yes.
out. Real quick.
No timeout. I'm on I'm being interviewed by a guy. I'm 3 minutes late. I got caught up talking to you. Why you do this to me? All right. Where do we send people? Where do you want them to go?
Honestly, my cell phone is probably the best place for them to go.
All right. I'm going to put that on there. I'll put it on. I got your phone. I'll put it on the interview on the notes. And we might do a part 2. Are you up for a part 2?
Yeah, I am, because I got to tell you about this magician.
All right. Hold that thought.
Hire a magician for your table.
All right. We'll merge these two. Let me bounce. And maybe later today, tomorrow, we'll figure it out.
I'm going to hit you up and I'm going to text Shannon. There's your warning.
Hey, that's fine. We went an hour. Come on. Cut me some slack.
Okay.
All right. I'll hit you up. Bye. All right. I've never done this before. I had one guy on twice, back to back, a few years ago. It's Christmas time. It was around this time. I must be in a giving mood around Christmas. But this guy, Ben Gay III, this dude is legendary. All right. So you've got big shoes to fill, but I've never done back to back on the same day. So what did we miss? What did we leave out, huh? Because
first
I'm gonna put your cell phone on here.
History here.
I know. This is you'll be episode 696. So 11 and a half years it took to get to this point. So
like I said, thank me later for helping you make.
To summarize, take process golfing, do 3D mailing, and get a good list. Okay. All right. So that's about it. Okay. Thanks, Nicole. Good to see you.
No. We need to talk about the coolest thing I've ever seen in 23 years of sales.
Yeah? You mean me? Okay, go ahead. My favorite topic.
I don't mean to burst your bubble, but it's not you. Well, but maybe.
Oh, we're getting some static. I think, I got to delete this episode. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
what's the coolest thing you've seen?
I do a lot of trade shows. Sometimes I do a table there. Sometimes I just attend and meet people. One of the coolest things I think I've seen to date is somebody hired a magician and they literally sat their table. They had this taller table and had it sitting in the corner of their table. So imagine a trade show with all these people And literally everybody's table to table, and then you got a magician. Imagine where everybody went to the magician. People were like starstruck by a magician.
Okay, fine. You can get a good crowd. It's like having an iPad giveaway at your booth, but all you get are a bunch of people. All right.
Hold on. The magician.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. The magician was using in his magic different phrases that the individual had given them about what they offer.
Okay.
And now you're watching a magician, you're expecting something like amazing, but then you get dropped a little nugget about what this person offers that's to my left.
Okay.
And not only that, then after they were all done, they gave out free entry for, my gosh, I can't even think of the name of that place. What's the magic place in LA?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but
I can't remember the name. Anyways.
So the event was in LA?
Yeah, it was in LA. The magician was from that magic house, whatever the name of it is. I cannot remember. Right. And then he was dropping nuggets about this person that brought him in and what they do and what they offer. Okay. And then at the end of it, everybody got free passes to go. What the hell is the name of that place?
Okay. How did the vendor, though, how did they do? Did you talk to them?
Yes.
Okay. How'd they do?
I don't know if this is podcast acceptable, but you're going to die. The vendor actually was a well-to-do man. Like, I don't even know why he had a table set up there. It was very odd because his business had been around almost 40 years. They did very good because they did exactly
was this
what you said. No, about 2 years ago.
Okay. Well,
remember
since you've
when
been
you
on your
told
own.
me? You told me immediately drop information into their email. Immediately have contact with the people you meet. That is exactly what they did. They had iPads. They had people. You were getting an email directly after with your passes and with information from the individual.
Oh, so they had to go register to get the passes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
and still to this day, I get emails from this individual. I've had a couple of offers from him in a very inappropriate ways, but that's the downfall of doing business as a woman in sales.
So
mic drop.
I mean, it's good that he still follows up. Okay. And it's interesting, but is it effective? I would love to know, reply to one of his advances with, hey, remember that show you did a couple years ago, The Magician? What was the conversion rate? And, get us that info. Because again, it's how much did it cost him to hire that magician? Okay, he's got to buy passes. How much did that cost? And then, okay, people register. But again, did they want to hear about his stuff, or did they just register for a free pass? So that's the stuff we've got to find out, and because it's okay to be creative and entertaining, but are you persuasive?
It was very entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, so that's cool, and you remember it. But do you remember it because you're a potential prospect and it stood out, or because you're an entrepreneur and your antenna are up, like kind of looking for interesting things, compelling things that stand out, like so you can maybe use it in some way for your own business, right? Because those are different approaches. So you got to be careful with what you see, and say that. Is this interesting to me as a consumer, or is this interesting to me as my ideal prospect?
Honestly, that's a great question. Never thought about it that way. I just remember it stood out like a sore thumb. I have never seen anybody do that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm always telling people, especially entrepreneurs, business owners, we want to be creative because things get boring. And entrepreneurs, we get bored easily. I have ADHD. Like, shut up. You're curious. Everybody's got a symptom, a disease, whatever, and it's either an excuse to sit on their butt or it's an excuse to bust. Well, my program is $10,000 because I overcame so much, and you'll get so much out of this, you'll make $1 million. So and you get an AI course, and a 15-page booklet. But I digress. Um, you know, we get distracted easily, we get bored easily, but the reality is basics, the fundamentals, the blocking and tackling never get old, and so we want to shift the gears and log in. Oh, I got this new AI thing, and we're doing cold email and doing that. Okay, maybe. If you're bleeding edge and you're the first to do it, it'll work for a while. But then what happens if you get it wrong? I'm rebranding, right? Moving on my stuff, using a new domain, and I'm doing everything legally. Ported over my list, scrubbed the list, trimmed it down, had some DNS settings wrong. My new domain now has a bad reputation, so I got to build it up from scratch again. And it's so people take these shortcuts, and they can work for a while, but you're going to get in trouble, and so you gotta be super careful on what you try and whatnot. But hey, I know some magic tricks. You can hire me. I'll work your booth.
I don't need any magic tricks.
All right,
but
I've got them.
It definitely drew in the crowd.
Yeah. But again, it's the old adage. Do you want 100 people 10% convinced, or do you want 10 people 100% convinced?
Mm-hmm. So true.
So.
Okay, your turn. What's the craziest thing you've seen in sales?
Hey, this is my podcast. I ask the questions.
You can share. Come on.
Crazy? What do you mean crazy?
Like what's something that stood out to you? You always talk about do the things that are different. Do, multi-level, multimedia. Like, what are you doing?
Multimedia, multi-step outreach. But again, I'm crazy in my persistence, right? I'm crazy, quote unquote, in that I'm willing to have fun. Years ago. So it was golly, 2000, around 2002. And there's a database. So it's still out there, but it was a little more rudimentary back then. But it was a database of academy grads, so West Point, Annapolis, Air Force, Coast Guard. And you volunteer. It was kind of like an early LinkedIn, so you could put yourself on this database of academy grads for networking purposes. You get all your info there. It was literally an early LinkedIn. And I was calling on Sprint at the time. They were a small client, a big target for us up in Kansas City, and I was in Austin. And I found that Sprint had 3 divisions, and the president of one of those divisions was a West Point grad. And I sent him an email, and the subject was like, can you help a lowly Air Force cute, And it's like, hey, Joe, Wes here, Air Force Class 92. We work with, a lot of your competitors, and we did. We were in the telecom space. We test and measurement, very unique thing. And so I kind of named dropped the competition, but trying to show our credentials. We were a legit provider in the space. And I was like, who in your team should I talk to about this? And it wasn't like 30 minutes. He replied, CC'd his VP of sales, operations, or whatever. I had carte blanche to sell to them. I made so much money selling to them in the next 2 years before I left. They were like a key account, signature account for us, But I do this to this day. I had John Buchan on years ago. He's the Brit. I always talk about him, charm offensive and sending drunk emails. He did something similar, but he was drunk. He was irritated. He was bummed. His marketing business wasn't really working. He tied one on, crafted a few emails, and sent it, but like a Fortune 100 company, right? He didn't send it to like the local chiropractor. He sent it to big companies. And he was like, man, what did I do? And then he started getting replies, positive. So I think we forget that there are humans on the other end of the screen, and even bigwig, quote unquote bigwigs. They're humans. They like personality. They like some humor, So I mean, I do stuff like that. And so I was doing that before it was cool, before it was promoted, creating a class for it. Um, I've had a client, they were a client and a small client I was trying to grow in Austin. I don't think they even exist anymore, Broadwing Communications. And I would, again, this is early 2000s, people were still smoking more, certainly in Texas. I'd go around to the back and just hang out on the back patio with all the workers. So,
It's awesome. You would do
just,
that.
and just shoot the breeze. And they, oh, you coming in? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm coming in. And just walk right behind them. So I didn't have to meet the secretary, didn't have to get buzzed, sit in the lobby. Now I'm just wandering the building looking for the people that are stiff arming me. There was another one. They were up in North Houston. And so again, they were a small client and my company merged with another and we got bought by a bigger company and then they bought another division. Then we had like new stuff to sell, right? So imagine like you could only sell car insurance, right? And the company merges, hey, you can sell home, motorcycle, boats, workers' comp. Like, oh, but it's like it's all new to you, right? Like you've never sold it. So all this high tech stuff, I didn't know any of it. But we had a little flip book, but it was, it was like a small booklet, but thick with the spiral, right? So you could flip through and it was laminated. So it looked really nice and it was thick with all the stuff we sold. Well, I typed up my own little outlines. There wasn't an outline for it. So I typed it in big font and just folded it and literally like taped it or stapled it to the inside cover. And this guy's walking me out. He's, oh, hey, Wes, why don't you meet such and such? Again, the VP of operations, whatever. I'm like, well, this is what I'm looking for. And she's like, what do you do? And he's like, well, we're buying whatever. But they also do this other stuff. Oh, really? And I had the little booklet and I opened it. And because I had big, bold font, you could easily see the different subjects. And she just looks, oh, y'all do that? And I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, we're like really good at that. And just I play it off as best I can. And I'm like, hey, but I'm running. I got to head to another meeting. But would you like me to follow up and line up the right people? Oh yeah. And they turn into a good client. So it's just being willing to interject yourself, right? Insert yourself into situations and like, crap, here comes business. It's like, but you better play it off well. Because this was some high tech stuff. So like, I don't know if that's crazy, right? It's creative. It's
memorable.
Getting after it. So one of those companies, so we sold another one after that one, we sold Blade PCs. And everybody knew about Blade servers, but not Blade PCs.
Mm-hmm.
And the president of that last company, the telecom, he became the CEO of this company. And so he brought me and a couple other guys over with him. And so they were still very small. So we kind of had carte blanche to do crazy stuff. Well, my business card, my title was Blade PC Guru. He let me put that on my card. So I'd hand my card and people would go, Blade PC Guru. Never met a guru. And I'm like, well, now you have. So you got to have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I totally get it. I even had one call today that the guy, he's got in California, he has 5 different shops or stores. And he said to me, I feel like my policies have been wrong all along and now I don't trust my broker. I said, well, the first problem is you don't trust your broker. I said, the second problem, we can handle the policies and we can handle that. But when that trust is broken, you're not going to do business with that person.
Nope. And that's where people need to realize it's like all these shortcuts with AI and whatever, and try to maximize your earnings off of somebody. Word's going to eventually get out. They're going to find out there's too many things, Glassdoor and whatever, things like that where people are sharing. Like Reddit, I mean, you can find out damn near anything by anyone on Reddit. So people will share how they were treated. They will share insights on the company, where they're good, where they're bad. Glassdoor, I think, is for hiring, right? They'll share salaries, things like that. If you're jerking people around, it's going to come out. So it's like, well, you just treat them right,
Absolutely.
For some reason, that's hard to do for a lot of people. All right. So now we'll do an official ending. How would you like to end this? You have some parting words of wisdom? Are you sure? I'm going to give you one more chance. Do you want people calling your cell phone?
Yeah, I do want people. Absolutely,
All
I
right.
want people calling my cell phone. That's the
Can you write coverage in other states?
yes. So
Nationwide?
almost all 50.
Okay.
I say almost because I turned in my license for New York. That is not a place, no offense to any New Yorkers, but that is not a place that I currently.
Well, you turned it in as in like canceled or like
yeah,
no
I
mas.
surrendered that license.
That's got to be bad because California is a dumpster fire.
California is nothing compared to some of these, like New York, Texas, Florida.
Why are they tough? Because of hurricanes?
Not just natural disasters, obviously claims, there's a number of different things that go into it, but every state has their own regulations on what you have to do, what you have to be, what you have to hold in order to have licensing, in order to have, anyways, like anything, they have their own set of regulations. New York's regulations? No. Scratch that. No.
All right. So not Texas, not Florida, not New York?
Yep.
Okay.
California will get better.
Well, I mean, it can't really get worse, can it?
It is actually getting worse. There's still people pulling out.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Hey, I just heard we've got a state of emergency for bird flu. So please put your mask on. I don't want to get sick.
I don't understand that, but
I'm a health nut, I'm like super cautious.
Well, after all the time you've been in the hospital, you should be a health nut.
No, I'm not. And I was only in twice, 3 days and 4 days. So, don't exaggerate.
That doesn't even count Mexico.
Mexico was just ER.
Okay, that
was a few hours.
That's still a trip to ER.
And they gave me margaritas and there was a piñata. So,
no,
I mean, it was like a party.
Not.
It was like a party.
No, they didn't.
Oh, yeah. You get your choice. Pina coladas, margaritas, fajitas.
You ready? My last piece of advice for those business owners out there is don't get too comfortable. Just like doing your taxes.
The whole reason I went into business was to get comfortable. What are you telling me, Nicole?
Don't get too comfortable. Things change. Your business changes. Your scope changes. Your insurance has to change with it. You need to review this stuff. It's not like life insurance. We don't just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
It has to be reviewed as different things change from year to year.
Well, and it's always changing. States, politicians feel like they have to write laws, amend laws, tweak laws.
Well, if you saw I don't know if you've seen the list for the 2025 changes just in California, if you have employees. Oh my God. Everything is changing. Always.
Well, look, I've skated by this long. I mean, nothing's going to happen. So, maybe I'll review it in a year, right?
Okay.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
The worst that can happen is you find somebody that does a bogus lawsuit, pulls your butt into court, and actually wins because you don't have all your ducks in a row.
So you're saying you are a duck wrangler? I
can be.
All right. You're like the Pied Piper of ducks?
You would qualify as a duck wrangler before me.
All right. Yeah, maybe. Knock some sense into people.
But then again, then you have people that they honestly do not care. Well,
for sure. I mean, they'll drive around with no car insurance, right? I mean, whatever. They either save a buck or they're just chaotic and they're just like, hey, may the odds be ever in your favor. Woo, 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 whatever that she does.
Yep. I even had one guy the other day. He's like, if I get fined by the state, I still save myself 5 years of insurance. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, do you, bud? I
mean, they're not wrong, right? But I mean, obviously, you have the insurance for the big things, but it's like the whole Obamacare, right? People are like, I'd rather pay the fine if I get caught down the road. I can't afford this stuff. So it's like, man, I get it. You know, some of these are just so onerous. And for the really small business, sometimes they can't do it. It's like, I can either stay open or I can go buy insurance, you know? So that's, you know, that's not your fault, right? But it's reality for a lot of people. So like they say, elections have consequences. So vote for the people that help you stay in business. How about that for an ending?
I'm not getting into politics, but I'll let you do that as your
You'll
ending.
you'll just say an amen from the back row. Hallelujah.
I'm like, you do you. Don't come to me when you get sued. Not walking in at that point.
Yeah. Then it's too late.
Nope.
Cool. All right. Well, Nicole Lucas, thanks for coming on twice in the same day, sharing your words of wisdom.
Thank you.
Thanks for strong arming me, blackmailing me, threatening me to come on the show.
It's all in good fun.
All right. Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Hey, I'll go sell something.
Yes. Bye.